True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. So happy to have all you guys joining me today. I hope you guys had a great day. I got a really probative and really awesome show for you guys. So once again, welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes. Now I want to tell you guys a few things before we get started. I think this is important. I think there's a point I want to make. I've been in law enforcement for 18 and a half years. I've been an investigator for the New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision for around 9.5 years. I worked in corrections for 12 years total. I've been in policing the rest of that time, and I've been promoted as detective after a couple years of working as a street cop in various different positions. In total, I have 14 and a half years of investigative experience. That's being an investigator for corrections and a detective for my police department. All of that is in New York State. And there's something about New York State when they charge that always meant something to me. And that's when the state charges a person with a crime. In New York State, we write that up as the people versus John Doe. That's something that California has in common with New York State. In California, they say the people of California, or sometimes the people versus John Doe. Now, why does that strike me? That strikes me because those words that New York and California use personifies what justice is. Justice belongs to all of us. When you commit a violent crime against another person in our society, that is not just a crime against that person. That's a crime against all of us. And when you hurt a child in our society, that's not a crime against that child or even you as a parent. Man, that's a crime against the universe. That's a crime against the foundation of our humanity. These cases belong to us. So I told you that whole intro, not because I wanted to gloat that I'm an experienced law enforcement professional who's still working, by the way. I'm an active duty detective. I'm not gloating here. I'm telling you that to tell you that when you come on these interwebs and you hear TikTokers and Instagrammers and all these folks saying, don't talk about this case because you're just spreading rumors and all that stuff, don't listen to them. Because a professional is telling you that they're wrong. These cases belong to us. I work cases right now. I'm still employed. I'm still working as a detective. And I don't get mad when people ask questions about my cases. I don't get mad when every now and then my cases are discussed on these social media platforms. You'd never know because in my department, detectives don't speak to the media. It's only the bosses that do. You'll never know that I'm working that case. These cases don't belong to me. They don't even belong to the victims. They belong to all of us. So when we're sitting here trying to figure this out, we're doing our duty. The cops, they have a job to do. If they want something secret, well, they better find a way to keep it secret because these are our cases. A child has gone missing and the mother has told us that there's an unnamed perpetrator that kidnapped her kid. Well, guess what? Have the police found that unnamed perpetrator? No. So are your children in California still in danger? Possibly. Now, do we believe her? No, we don't. But do we have any information from law enforcement that definitively says that there is no unknown perpetrator that likes to say hola and smack people on the back of their head, the front of their head, or wherever and take their kids? Well, we haven't gotten definitive information that your kids are safe. So we're doing our civic duty. These are our cases. There was a crime against a child, which means a crime against all of us, against our very humanity, ladies and gentlemen. And that being said, the reason why I told you that is because we're going to segue in to Ahmed Belozo. I hope I said his name correctly. He basically states, I have not verified this for myself, but he basically states that he has information that the mother, Rebecca Haro, I had a little brain freeze like, what's her last name again? You know I'm done with you when I don't want to remember your name. That means I'm done with you, because for me, names are about respect. And the moment I start forgetting your name, I might be losing respect for you, but it's still there. Rebecca Haro. He said he has information that Rebecca Haro had that black eye since at least August 3rd. Well, I haven't verified it. I'm not in California. I'm on the other side of the country. So let's see what Ahmed Belozo has to say about it. Let's do it.
Today's episode has been brought to you by the letter W. The Waterman Discount Mall has entered the chat. The reason why is because the Waterman now ties into the disappearance of little Emmanuel Haro. Any of the cameras here can be brought back to August 3rd, and you will see Rebecca and Jake come into the Waterman on the 3rd, homie, and she already had that shiner, and it was like this, Holmes, like she had just got a putazo.
Now this is the thing. This is as much as I listened to before. I was like, I got to play this on the channel, because I like to react to things raw. I like what this guy is doing. This guy is out there, boots on the ground. There are some people coming in my comments who don't like him too much. That's not my problem. That's your problem. I don't live there. I'm simply trying to chase information and figure this case out for myself, because that's what I do for a living. I investigate. On duty, off duty, I'm always investigating. My kids come tell me that they're hungry. I'm investigating. Didn't you just eat? My 17-year-old come tell me she need $200, $300. I'm investigating. Didn't I just give you $100? I'm always investigating. But I'll say this. This guy's an amateur guy. And sometimes when he speaks, it's not clear to me what he's trying to convey to me. And this is no shade on him. I appreciate him. I'm showcasing his work. I'm telling you, I think he's doing a good job. So he was not clear to me just now on whether he saw that with his own eyes. It sounded like, hey, the cameras here can show it. But he didn't definitively say, I watched the cameras with my own eyes and I saw that her eyes were out here. He inferred it, but I'm not hearing it. Maybe he'll clear it up, because this is where I stopped it and said I'm going to play this on the show. Let's listen a little bit more. But I need, like, if I'm a detective, I want to speak to this guy. I want to say, hey, did you see this with your own eyes? What was the timestamp? Did you check the time with your own watch to see if the time is accurate? These are questions I want to know. What camera did you see that on? Where were they walking? What was their demeanor? I need clear answers, but let's keep going, because I like what he's doing. Maybe he'll clear this up.
By whoever did it to her, quite possibly did it to little Emmanuel too, homie. I have a constituent who has a business in here who has a video, because she did a transaction at the Waterman Discount Mall, homie, on August 3rd. I have the video, her eye like this, homie, but unfortunately, my constituent is in Miami until the 26th on business, so he cannot come back home. But nonetheless, the Waterman has cameras throughout. And so if anybody wanted to get the video from the Waterman of August 3rd, Emmanuel's mother and father were here on the tira, homie. And so I can't get it to the 26th, homie, but that doesn't mean that we ain't doing what we can to bring justice to life for little Emmanuel, homie, on the
I'm sorry, so I'm just a little confused. Like, is he saying that he will get the video on the 26th and he can't get it yet? Like, I'm just a little confused, but this is what he's saying. He's saying that this video exists, so I don't know if he's hearing this third hand, as in the owner and the custodian. That's how we say it in the business. I'm teaching you guys detective stuff, so I hope you're taking notes and you listening so you can understand how I speak. So when you're watching these court trials and you're watching these, interrogations on YouTube, we all watch the Red Tree Crime thing, and we love that. The EWU, we watch that. You'll understand what the investigators are saying. So is he saying that the custodian of that video is alerted him that she watched the video and she could confirm, which is third party, that she observed the black eye on this woman, Rebecca, on August 3rd, or did he see it? I'm not sure. Now, I want to give a big shout out. Aki just let me know that I got a lot of love. And man, first of all, big shout out to Ahmed, who is a veteran true crimer with a very large channel, who shouted me out on his channel. I really appreciate it. I keep seeing people in my chat saying I was sent here from Ahmed. I know I'm saying his name correct, because I remember I was watching his coverage on the Gabby Potato case. He really owned that case and did his thing. So big shout out to you. That's a large YouTube channel that does not have to show love to a little guy like me. And yet he showed that love, and I appreciate that. So a big shout out to them. And also big shout out to quadruple 1111 True Crime, who also shouted me out on their channel. I really appreciate it, man. You know, it always, it never gets old, and I'm always humbled, and I'm always very gracious when other YouTubers are showing me love. I'm new to the scene. I haven't been doing true crime for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I've been on YouTube for a while, but I've only been doing true crime for about a year and a half. And it's been a wild ride, and I love it, and I love the community that we're building, and I appreciate every other true crimer who doesn't say, like, who's this new guy on the block, you know, screw this guy. No, they understand, and they say, hey, the 10 is big enough for everybody. Let's show love to this guy. Let's appreciate, you know, I love it. I'm even a loss for words. And of course, I always have to show love to Grizzly True Crime, who shouts me out all the time and always loves the channel and shows us love, and Plunder, who's always showing love to me, always popping up in my chat and showing love to me and all that good stuff, man. She's awesome. I love that lady. One day when I'm big enough, I'm going to force her into an interview where I'm going to just basically shower her with all the love, because I really appreciate her. So these guys are crazy, and I love this community. All right, that being said, I'm not sure if he's saying that he can confirm with himself, his own eyes, that this video exists, but this is what this guy is saying. Let's keep going.
And now, here in San Bernardino, California, homie, get the Waterman discount footage from August 3rd, and it will show you everything. Ahmed, the face of the internet. But I digress. Gracias. Now back to you sick-ass fools on the tira. This report has been brought to you by the letter 3, the 3rd. Waterman Discount Mall has left the chat.
Listen, I've never heard of this guy before prior to me covering this case. My understanding is he's been covering cases in this area the entire time. I'm happy that he's doing it. I appreciate him. Keep doing what you do. Keep doing it with the style that you're doing it, you know, because one thing I realize as a YouTube creator is that people are always going to tell you to do the things the way they want it to be done, but they're not willing to do what you're doing. So I appreciate him, and I thank him for going out there, putting boots on the ground in his own way and trying to get this information. I just need verification that this actual video exists, because it sounds like right now that it's third party. It sounds like it's third party. It's still probative. And this is another thing I want to tell you guys. This is important. It's more investigative stuff for you. You got a detective on your phone and on your TV right now. So there's an opportunity to learn how we do business. There's no such thing as rumors to detectives. Those are called leads. It's your job as an investigator to find out whether a lead is probative or not, to find out if you could verify a lead or not. There's no such thing as a rumor. There's just leads, okay? Now, what he just gave us is not a rumor. It's a third-party lead. That means that it's possible that that video exists, all right? So if I'm the local PD, I'm going to be going to that watermark. I'm going to that watermark. If they did not already go there, I'm going to that watermark. If I'm the detective who's investigating the disappearance of Emmanuel Haro, and I'm watching True Crime or Strategic, because you know they watching. The whole sheriff's department is watching. I'm just joking. If I'm the lead detective, I'm going to, whoa, Strategic just played this guy, Ahmed Belozo, saying, I'm going over there, I'm asking questions. I'm going to have an answer as to whether that's just rumor, conjecture, bullcrap, or whether it really is a lead that will flesh itself out. I'm going to have that answer. YouTube may not have that answer. Belozo may not have that answer. True Crime Strategic may not get that answer. But if I'm the detective on the ground, I'm going to get that answer. And if that lady has that video, she's either going to give it to me willingly, or I'm going to give her a subpoena to give it to me. And if she doesn't comply with that subpoena, I'm going to get a search warrant, and I'm going to take her entire DVR and even the cameras. Even though the cameras is worthless without the DVR, I'm taking the cameras too, because that is very probative. That will crack this case. Because this woman made it believe as though that black eye was as a result of her attack, even though the way she described her attack is as though she got knocked out from behind, at least in my opinion. But this will poke a big hole in her case. Big hole. So yes, I think this is very, very important as a lead, but we got to flesh this out and see if this really turns out to be what we think it is. All right, so now I want to move on to another video. This one is from Law and Crime. And big shout out to Law and Crime. Everybody subscribe to Law and Crime. If you're a true crime connoisseur, there's no way that you're watching true crime and you're not watching Law and Crime, and you're not subscribed to EWU, and you're not subscribed to Red Tree Crimes. You have to be subscribed to those things, and Court TV. It's not possible to like true crime and not subscribe to these folks. So anyway, big shout out to Law and Crime. They allow creators like myself to use their video without being crazy with it, so we appreciate them. I am specifically interested at the 3-minute mark, which I'm going to play for you guys, where they're going to get a statement from the Uvalde Children's Foundation. I believe from what you Aki told me. Don't fail me, Aki, because I didn't listen to this. You guys know I like to react to this raw with you guys. Some things I watch beforehand. Most things I like to react raw. According to Aki, I'm throwing her under the bus. She's in the chat right now. She's the queen moderator. And if she's wrong, we're going to bump her down to be the princess moderator. According to Aki, this is going to be a statement that we have not heard before from Uvalde Children's Foundation. And if you're new to this, the Uvalde Children's Foundation was involved in, number one, putting up the reward for finding baby Emmanuel. And number two, they were organizing search parties to try and find baby Emmanuel. They were spending a lot of money and resources to assist this mother, Rebecca, in finding her child, until they decided to remove all of their resources from this case because they do not believe that she's telling the truth. Let's see what they have to say about this.
Now, on top of that, the Uvalde Foundation for Kids, which is a national nonprofit, it advocates for children. They were helping in the search for Emmanuel when this story first broke. They were offering reward money as well. But in light of this news from law enforcement, they are no longer helping in the search. Lawandcrime.com reached out to the nonprofit, and this is what they told us, quote, "We are receiving information that Emmanuel was not even reported to have been seen at the football game. The mother alleged they were all at."
What? Oh, hell no! That one hit hard. Let's go back. Did I just hear what I thought I heard?
Out to the nonprofit, and this is what they told us, quote, "We are receiving information that Emmanuel was not even reported to have been seen at."
Now, we reported this, other people reported this, and then you had some local TikTokers who are acting like they own this case because they live in that community, and they're like, oh, none of this stuff is verified. All this stuff is fake. Don't listen to nobody, but listen to me because I got all the information because I live across the street. Well, you might want to check your sources because 90% of the stuff that's being reported is true. So it looks like it is true that people have come forward to say that that child was never at the football game. Boom. Oh, let me not scream. Because people say, oh, Strategic, I love your show, but you scream and it sounds like I'm listening to a racehorse game. Put your volume down. Let's keep going.
Football game. The
Now,
mother alleged
bring it back.
helping in the search. Lawandcrime.com reached out to the nonprofit, and this is what they told us, quote, "We are receiving information that Emmanuel was not even reported to have been seen at the football game. The mother alleged they were all at, as an eyewitness report that the mother's apparent bruise acquired during the attack at the Big Five was in fact acquired previous to the incident."
Wow.
We're awaiting further confirmation from law enforcement. All of these, coupled with our previous notes, have led to our decision.
Are you
now,
kidding me? Wow. That is huge, ladies and gentlemen. If this is corroborated by law enforcement, all right, this one thing that this organization is making this statement, but this has to be corroborated by law enforcement. If this is corroborated by law enforcement, we are building a first-degree murder case. And listen, contrary to popular opinion and contrary to what you hear on TV and sometimes the internet, you can bring forward a homicide case without a body. It is very difficult. Of course it is. But it's not impossible. And we have seen that happen time and time again. They are building a case right now. And we're going to start seeing some cracks in this armor. If my theory is true, that the father who has the history of violence is the one who actually caused harm on the child and the mother simply trying to cover for him, soon and very soon, I'm about to sing like a hymnal or something, soon and very soon, you're going to start seeing the cracks. You're going to start seeing cracks in that family. And mommy is going to roll on daddy. Soon and very soon. Mommy is going to roll on daddy if, in fact, daddy's the one who hurt the baby. That's my theory. And I'm telling you right now, I could be 1,000% wrong on that theory. I'm simply coming up with that theory because I'm looking at the father's history of violence against children, young children, 2-3-year-olds. He has a history of violence against them. So I'm giving her deference that maybe she does not deserve. But I'm giving her deference she doesn't deserve probably, and I'm assuming that it's probably the father. But of course, I'm on YouTube, so I can assume. Those detectives and investigators and police officers and sheriff deputies on the ground have to prove it. They have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, or at least have to prove it enough to get probable cause to make the arrest, and the county attorney, district attorney, is the one that has to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, before we go any further, because we have a lot more further to go, I'm going to ask you guys for a little favor. And we're only asking this because we want to help this channel grow. And I think some of you guys who are here, you want to see us grow as well. We're going to ask you to please hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. We have 1,500 people watching this live stream right now and only 391 likes. The way that the algorithm is looking at this show right now, they're saying, hey, this guy's doing a terrible job, and those people are just looking at him so they can laugh at him. Because honestly, how can you have 1,500 people on a live stream and only 400 of them like the show? So please do hit the like button. I know many of you probably forgot. Hit that like button so we could get put into the algorithm so that the show could be shown to a wider audience. We do appreciate you. Let's keep going.
Specifically what law enforcement said on Sunday. Quote, investigators interviewed multiple individuals, including Emmanuel's parents, Jake and Rebecca Haro. During those interviews, Rebecca was confronted with inconsistencies in her initial statement and declined to continue with the interview. At this point in the investigation, investigators are unable to rule out foul play in the disappearance of Emmanuel. Wow. Now, here is the home where Emmanuel lived with his parents per online court records.
All right, so I'm going to pause this right here real quick because one of my viewers decided that they wanted to drive past the residence. I was trying to showcase it on the show last night that we did, but I forgot by accident because of the way that the software works. It was only one video up, and I played that video, and that was a good video, and we appreciate those folks because of those folks who went out there and did a video canvas of the area. You'll find that on that other video. Go check that video out. When they did their canvas, they amazingly identified cameras that could have been used and may have already been used to poke holes in the story of Rebecca Haro. So we posted that. That was a great video. Now I see other people who are going out there and looking at those cameras. Great. We appreciate it. But big shout out to that couple that went out there. I'm not going to say their names because I don't know if they want their names out there. But big shout out to them who went out there, did that canvas, and shared it with True Crime Strategic. And then we shared it with you guys. So now I want to play for you the other couple that went out and took a drive past that area. I want to show you what the property actually looks like. This is public record at this point, guys. And from my understanding, and I could be wrong, this is just alleged, my understanding is that Mommy and Daddy, Rebecca and Jake, are no longer at that property. That their whereabouts allegedly is unknown at this time. Could be wrong. I'm just reporting what I hear. So now, let me bring that video up for you guys. Short videos, but very probative. This is the first one right here. That's the house right there. All right, here's the other video. Slow motion. All right, so we also reported, I just saw this in the chat, we also reported that the 2-year-old was removed from them. That's now been verified by local news media. Listen, we're on this. We're on this, and we're on this because of you. I don't live over there. I don't have any law enforcement contacts out there. I don't know anybody out there in that small town. I'm on the other side of the country. Everything that I know is from you guys sharing that with me, for you guys trusting me with that information. This show is built on you. And you know what? Because this show is built on you, as soon as I get some time, I'm going to give 5 free gift memberships because you guys are amazing. All right, let's keep going. Let's get back to law and crime for a little bit more.
TV cameras saw detectives investigating at Emmanuel's house overnight, and we're still waiting on an update today if that search found anything related to this case. The Haro's 2-year-old daughter has been removed from the house per KTLA. It also came to light that Emmanuel's dad, Jake, is currently on parole. He was convicted in 2023 of cruelty to children. That was related to a 2018 arrest. Now, even though law enforcement have said that foul play can't be ruled out, it certainly has lit a fire under the public and wanting to know what happened. It appears there are family members of the Haros sticking by their side. Emmanuel's grandmother spoke to local media. She said that the couple are homebodies, they love their son.
And that's because they're all perps in my eyes. In my opinion, in my eyes, they're all perps. The one son killed his girlfriend. He's doing 50 years in prison. His brother was allegedly, according to articles, I'm not saying this, these are articles that we read on this show, was threatening and harassing the family of the female that the brother killed. Now Rebecca, one of the sisters, might actually have knowledge of or participated or carried out the unaliving of a 7-month-old boy. The whole family's filled with perps, if you ask me. They're perps. But anyway, let's keep going.
Wouldn't do anything to hurt him. She also said that Rebecca stopped cooperating when law enforcement wanted her to take a lie detector test, and her husband recommended they get a lawyer. Now, Emmanuel's dad also cried on TV, pleading for help from the public in finding their son. He even addressed the person that his wife claims took his son. Here's what he told KABC TV cameras.
Whoever took our son, please give him back.
Again, Jake Haro, the dad, he's currently on probation. He's slated to appear next month in court on an alleged probation violation. It's unclear if that has any connection to the disappearance of his son. One other note.
All right, so big shout out to Sparkling Ma. I'm not going to read it out because I did not read it in a news source, but she put an address and says, is the address where the media and law enforcement are at. If you're in the chat, you can see that. I can't stop it from being shown. But definitely appreciate you for that $5 super chat and the tip. All right, let's keep going.
We looked through the parking lot on Google Maps where Rebecca says that she was attacked and where Emmanuel was taken, and it does appear that there are security cameras on the sides of buildings, but it doesn't appear to this point, or at least it's unclear, whether anyone has information of the incident that she claims happened. Hey, before we get back.
All right, so let's pause that right there because I think this is a great time to segue into the ex-husband. Before I do that, big shout out to 1111 True Crime with a $5 super chat. Says, allegedly, parents deleted their own security footage from home from the cloud as well. That's huge. That's guilty knowledge right there. If that in fact is true and can be borne out and found to be probative by police. So once again, even 111 True Crime says allegedly, we don't know this for sure, but if that is true, this is certainly very, 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 very suspect behavior. You don't do stuff like that when you're innocent of a crime. Now, I think we're approaching a record here. We're at 1,944 people. I don't think we've ever gotten 2,000 people. We've had quite a few, especially when we were covering the Madeline Soto case. But I don't think we've ever gotten to 2,000 people live. So if that happens, I don't know if it's going to happen. Half the people might leave right now. It is what it is. We're still going to be rocking and rolling. We're still going to be giving a voice to the voiceless. But if it happens, I will definitely give another 5 free gift memberships to celebrate this milestone for True Crime with Strategic. Anyway, I want to go over to the article now. Oops, we just did it. So I will be dropping that 5 gift memberships. We have over 2,000 people watching this live stream right now. I'll be dropping that membership over in just a little bit, but I got to get through some stuff. All right. So what I want to do is I want to read the ex-husband responding to this. Okay. I think it's interesting. One reason why I think it's interesting is because there are rumors going around, and we don't know if they're verified, that Rebecca was saying that a possible suspect in this case could have been her ex-husband. These are totally rumors, okay? So I'm throwing these disclaimers out here. We're all adults. This show is not for kids. It's an adult show. So when I tell you that something's a rumor, you know through your common sense to take it with a grain of salt. Nobody can say, oh, he's saying this is a fact. It's not. I'm saying it's a rumor. So people are saying, or rather the rumors are, that she was trying to allude that a possible suspect, she never said that he was, but a possible suspect was her ex-husband. There's also rumors that she was alleging that he engaged in DV and SA during that relationship to control her and abuse her, etc. And apparently they had kids. So I told you guys when I first started covering this case that Rebecca looked older, much older than Jake. Some people got into defensive mode because, you know, people get defensive when you talk about people's physical characteristics. But I explained that to you that as detectives, I'm a detective. When you guys watch the show, you're detectives too. We look at 360. We look at everything from a 360 lens. We don't exclude how somebody looks, how somebody talks, their level of education, their history. We don't exclude none of that stuff. We put all of that together to tell a story, right? So we're looking at her. We're looking at him. She looked much older than him. It turns out she is much older than him. Apparently, according to this ex-husband, as we're going to read, they shared 2 daughters who are now adults. They're over the age of 18. That means she has to be in her 40s or maybe 50s, ladies and gentlemen. Mind you, Jake is 32 years old. 32 years old. So anyway, let's keep going. Let's jump into this. Ex-husband of missing Emmanuel Haro's mom insists only she knows truth as story on 7-month-old's abduction changes. The investigation into the alleged abduction of a 7-month-old boy took a new twist as the ex-husband of the child's mother has insisted only she knows the truth. Mom Rebecca Haro told authorities she was changing her son Emmanuel's diaper outside her vehicle in the parking lot of a Big Five store in Yucaipa, California on Thursday evening when she was knocked unconscious by an unknown man. Let me zoom in a little bit because my eyes are old, guys, and I'm like straining to read it. My apologies. All right, here we go. Haro allegedly told deputies with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office that as she was changing her son, the man came up behind her and said, "Hola," hello in Spanish. The 41-year-old mother said the suspect allegedly attacked her from behind, knocking her unconscious before she was able to turn around. Haro told deputies she had no recollection of anything that followed, except that when she regained consciousness, her 7-month-old son was missing. Haro, her husband Jake, her mother Mary Bushausen, spoke briefly to news outlets and urged the public to help them find the toddler. "I got him out of the car seat and I laid him down so I can get his diaper ready, and somebody said, 'Hola,' and that's all I remember. I saw white," a distraught Haro, who had noticeable black eye, told ABC affiliate KABC TV. "I fell on the floor, and as soon as I got up, I couldn't find my son. Whoever took our son, please give him back," Jake, 32, the newborn's father, added. However, in the days following the boy's alleged kidnapping, investigators with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office had determined inconsistencies with Haro's initial statement to investigators. It's coming, guys. Be patient, but his statement is coming. San Bernardino County investigators have not publicly released details about Haro's conflicting statements, but said since their initial interviews with the couple, they have both now refused to cooperate, declined further questioning. They got attorneys, guys. And in addition to conflicting statements, I'm just adding in my own exposition, they also showed them video that contradicted what they were saying, and that also made them shut down. Just for you to know, just in case you don't know about that. Let's keep going. Investigators interviewed multiple individuals, including Emmanuel's parents, Jake and Rebecca Haro, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office said in a statement. During those interviews, Rebecca was confronted with inconsistencies in her initial statement and declined to continue with the interview. At this point in the investigation, investigators were unable to rule out foul play in the disappearance of Emmanuel. Bushausen previously told the Orange County Register that Jake refused to allow his wife Haro to take a lie detector test in front of authorities. The grandmother told the outlet that the couple wanted to hire an attorney before taking the test. When approached by U.S. Sun, Bushausen, Emmanuel's grandmother, declined to comment. Now, Before I go further as to the ex-husband, I want to thank one of my viewers for actually sending me this article. I really appreciate you guys. Like I said, you guys make this show. Let's keep going. We have 2,300 people watching right now. Can I get 1,000 likes? I really would appreciate it. Mother's ex-husband speaks out. In the days following little Emmanuel's disappearance, troubling details have emerged about Jake's criminal record, as well as Haro's life as a mother of 5 other children. Wow, she had 5 kids. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Haro's ex-husband, who asked not to be named, told the U.S. Sun he did not know his ex-wife remarried or had another son. Now, talk about disconnecting. Like, these people got divorced and they literally disappeared from each other's life. That's deep. Let's keep going. The man said he and Haro had been separated for years following an 11-year marriage. Our relationship was normal, your normal relationship. You were married for 11 years and dated for about 15 years, the husband told the U.S. Sun. We got 2 daughters. They're grown. They're over 18 already. I don't know anything about her new husband, only what I've read on the news. Now, listen, he's not being completely honest, in my opinion, because you're saying that your relationship was normal, that you guys dated for 15 years and were married for 11. That means you guys were together for 26 years. What ended the marriage? What ended the marriage? What ended the marriage to the point where you guys don't even talk, even though you share 2 daughters? You don't even talk. So he's withholding something. It's none of our business, to be honest, but I just like when people are a little bit more forthcoming. It doesn't appear to me, in my opinion, he's being forthcoming. But anyway, let's keep going. I haven't talked to her in years. I didn't even know she had a son until the news came out. The man wished for a positive outcome in the search for Haro's son, adding, when a kid goes missing, it's pretty shocking. You never wish that on a baby. Then you find out that it goes missing like that out of nowhere. I don't know. It's heartbreaking. I don't know what to think about that. Only she knows the truth. I hope they, as in the police, find the baby. I think that's what everybody wants out of this. Father's dark past. So let's go to the dark past. We already know about this, but I'm still going to read it, and then we'll move on to our next segment. Meanwhile, the Orange County Register has since reported that Emmanuel's father had previously been convicted of felony willful child cruelty.
Oh, hell no!
Oh, yeah. He is a bad, bad man. I want the narrative of that. I want the narrative of that case. We bought the court documents, but it didn't have the narrative in it. I want the narrative. I want to know what he did to that child. Let's keep going. Jake was arrested in Ahmed, a city in the listen, guys, I'm not from that area. They got a lot of Spanish and Native American names. I don't want to butcher it, but it looked like Jacinto, San Jacinto Valley in Riverside County in 2018, and was convicted in June of 2023 on felony charges. Now, this shows you right here, guys, and I'm not trying to talk politics with you fine folks, but I care about children. That's why I do this channel. We talk a lot about children. We talk about all victims. We talk about adults too, but the soft spot in my heart is for the kids. I don't understand how we could live in a society where a man could be found guilty of, from what we hear, the rumors that we hear, is causing a TBI, a traumatic brain injury, on a child. And what we're hearing is that child was 2 to 3 years old, and he not go to jail. Is this the world we want to live in? Shouldn't criminal justice reform benefit people who make mistakes, like maybe steal a loaf of bread because they're hungry? Why is criminal justice reform allowing child beaters to get out from prison and not do jail time? And did he learn his lesson? There's a possibility the answer is no. There's a possibility that baby Haro is gone because they did not administer justice when they had the opportunity. So this guy committed a serious felony against a very young child, and listen to what he got. Listen to the outcome, the adjudication of his case. He was sentenced to 180 days in jail and 48 months of probation, according to court records. A prison sentence of 72 months was suspended. That means he didn't have to serve it. It was being held over his head. He didn't have to serve it. was suspended, the outlet reported, but he was scheduled to appear in court in early September for an alleged probation violation. He couldn't even stay out of trouble, ladies and gentlemen. Neither Jake Haro, and I'm telling you right now, those violations probably stem from the guns and the drugs that he was charged with that I have on the Patreon. And you guys can find that on the web somewhere, I guess, but we definitely have it on the Patreon. Wasn't staying out of trouble. He's on, fake hyperventilating, bring my baby back, and make sure you change his diaper and you feed him. And meanwhile, he's out there selling drugs and allegedly and trafficking guns. I'm exaggerating. He wasn't trafficking guns, but he has drugs and guns. Let me be accurate. Let me not joke too much. He has guns and drugs, and he's resisting arrest and fighting police officers. Those are the charges that he's facing. Those are the charges. A felon in possession of a firearm, possession of drugs. That's one case. Another case is resisting arrest and traffic violations. He got stopped for a traffic violation. Instead of complying with the police officer, he chose to resist arrest and fight the police officer. That's this guy. That's the father. Let's keep going. Now, the Jake Haro nor Boschhausen have been charged nor named as suspects in connection with little Emmanuel's alleged abduction. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office confirmed to U.S. Sun that investigators executed a search warrant at the home of Jake and Rebecca Haro. So now we have confirmation that a search warrant was done. We knew that for a while. We actually got confirmation in other news sources, but here's the Sun confirming it as well. When asked if the parents are being probed as suspects, the sheriff's office said investigators have not ruled out anyone's involvement and are following up on all leads and tips. The only thing so far that we have not been able to verify that we do not believe has happened yet is these allegations of them digging up the backyard. We watched video of people in the backyard. There were no backhoes. There were no signs of digging. There were also no officers posted there to preserve the crime scene. You're not going to execute a search warrant where you're going to be digging up a backyard and you're not going to have crime scene tape up and an officer there to make sure nobody's going there and contaminating that crime scene. You need those two things. The fact that we did not see it, the fact that that Ahmed guy was able to get that close to the property without an officer like, hey, this is a restricted area, you can't come through here, police line, that means that they're not digging up the backyard yet. All right, now, let me bring it back to me so I can set up the next segment of this show. Wow, we're getting there, people. We're getting there. We're getting there. We are getting there. All right, so now this one is investigators search home of missing 7-month-old. Big shout out to the research crew and Aki for getting this information over to me. You guys are amazing. Let's do it.
6:33 right now. There are several new developments in the search for this missing baby boy. Now, his mother first told deputies that she was attacked and that her baby was kidnapped from a parking lot in Yucaipa. But now investigators say she's not been able to keep her story straight. NBC4's Lauren Coronado was live in our newsroom with how deputies are responding this morning.
Lynette, a spokesperson for the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, tells us the couple's 2-year-old was taken by Riverside Child Protective Services over the weekend. And just last night, detectives were at the family's home in Cabazon. This was just after 7 o'clock last night. Witnesses say they saw detectives talking with the missing baby's father right outside the home. Also last night, as the search continues for 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro.
Hold on. Let me see what last night is. When was this posted? This was posted 10 hours ago, so that means last night. Okay, beautiful. Let's go back because I like that footage of what's actually happening. I'm liking that. Let's keep going.
With how deputies are responding this morning.
Lynette, a spokesperson for the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, tells us the couple's 2-year-old was taken by Riverside Child Protective Services.
Confirmation that the 2-year-old was taken yet again from another news source. Why are people coming on their TikTok saying that this stuff is not true? Is beyond me. We're supposed to be out here giving people good information. If you're going to talk about speculation, you say, I'm speculating this. If you're going to talk about rumors, you say, I'm giving you rumors. When you're talking about facts, you're talking about facts. Why are people coming on the internet and contradicting facts? That 2-year-old was taken from that home as he should or she should have been, so she, because the moment, as I told you guys days ago, the moment the parents stopped cooperating with law enforcement, Child Protective Services now has their probable cause. It's probably not probable cause. It's probably reasonable suspicion, something to that effect. They now have the ability to remove that child. They have the ability to remove the child because if you're innocent, you would not stop cooperating with police. So the fact that you stop cooperating with police, we got to make sure that this baby doesn't fall on the same fate as that 7-month-old. The baby has been removed, verified by the news. Let's keep going.
Over the weekend, and just last night, detectives were at the family's home in Cabazon. This was just after 7 o'clock last night. Witnesses say they saw detectives talking with the missing baby's father right outside.
Somebody said I'm showing the wrong house. I'm not showing any house. I'm playing the news. What are they talking about? I'm showing the news. That's what I'm showing. Maybe they're early on. I don't know what's going on.
The home. Also last night, as the search continues for 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro, community members came together for a vigil demanding answers. This was at Big 5 Sporting Goods in Yucaipa, where Emmanuel's mother, Rebecca Haro, says she was attacked in the parking lot Thursday, knocked unconscious, and woke up to find baby Emmanuel missing. Our team spoke with Rebecca Friday.
I don't remember nothing. I got up off.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go back just a tad bit. It breaks my heart, man. How can you hurt your baby? I don't know. Let's pray for the best. Let's pray for the best. I hope somebody did take that kid and they get that kid back unharmed, because it's hard for me to imagine that a mother and a father can actually participate in the unaliving of their own kid. That's horrible. A 7-month-old? Like, when my babies were 7 months old, I couldn't even get mad when they cried. I just loved everything about them. Like, when they cried, I'm like, hey, what can I do for you? I'm like, even as a young man, when I first had my kid, I don't know how old was I, like 23 or something like that. I was young, man. At that time, I was a hood booger from Harlem. I wasn't as refined as I am now. I wasn't the 40-something-year-old professional, college-educated detective dude, man. I was Jenny from the block. Even then, when my first kid, who's now 17 years old, grown woman, when she cried as an inexperienced dad, it didn't even annoy me. It was like, oh man, my baby wants something. What can I do for you? And it was like a game for me to find out what my baby needed to be happy. And it was like the greatest accomplishment I've ever accomplished when I could turn that cry into a smile. And what really made my day, ladies and gentlemen, what really made my day is when that baby cried and I could put her right here. And I don't know if it's in the DNA, but all my kids, you guys will probably say, all kids do that, strategic, shut up. But they loved when I pat their butt. And when I could turn that cry into a sleep, and they're now sleeping on my shoulder as I'm tapping their butt, it was the greatest accomplishment. I was dad of the century. To think that some people could look at a beautiful little baby and see something they want to get rid of, it truly makes me believe what I already know is true, that there is evil in this world. And I say that all the time on this channel, and some of you guys think I'm being esoteric and all that stuff, and people say there's no such thing as evil and demons and all that stuff. All right, well, you could believe what you want to believe. But like I tell you guys all the time, I have sat across a government table in a government room with microphones and cameras. It's called an interrogation room. Every single police department has one. I've sat in those rooms across from other human beings that I can tell you without the shadow of a doubt that those people were evil. I've seen evil with my own eyes, ladies and gentlemen. And if you hurt a child that age, you got to be nothing but evil. But that's not even what I wanted to say. I digressed and I went on a tangent. I apologize. What I wanted to say, and the reason why I stopped this video here is, this does not look like a new black eye. It doesn't look like one. This looks like a black eye that has been healing for weeks. Healing for weeks. I don't have independent verification. We just have what the Ahmed guy said, that allegedly there's a video that shows them going into a local store and she had the black eye. I can't independently verify that that is true. But what I can verify from my own experience, because I've been punched in the face quite a few times in my life, both professionally and personally, that this is not a black eye. That is recent. That is a black eye that has not been healing for hours, not been healing for days, has been healing for weeks. You figure it out for yourself. Before we jump back into this, I got to show some love to people who are supporting the channel. You guys are the life's blood of the channel, and I always have to show you love. So let's start from the top, and then we'll get back into it because we got a lot to cover, guys. All right. Big shout out to Bev Marion, who's now a recruit member. Leslie Lionhearted is now a recruit member. Thank you so much. Jada Jera 14 gave us a 5 gift membership. I hope you guys enjoy that. Ruth Ann 85 gave us 1 gift membership. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Stephanie Roberts is now a recruit member. Thank you for joining the channel. Matthew Waleski gave us a $2 super chat. Says, thank you for the detailed coverage, strategic. You're welcome, and thank you for watching. The show is nothing without you guys. Without you guys, I'm just talking in space, and I'm just going to be a crazy man. I won't be a YouTuber. I'll be a crazy man. I'm just talking in space. I gave a 5 gift membership. Let's keep going. Sparkling Ma gave us a $5 gift membership and gave us an address to a house that she thinks that the police are at. Alleged True Crime, 111 True Crime gave us a $5 super chat. Steady Glamorous Cosmetics is now a recruit member. Welcome. Support with, I can't read the rest of the name, says $5 super chat. Can Ellie retrieve deleted surveillance footage from Haro's cameras? It's possible. It depends on, it's like people are saying that they deleted from the cloud. It depends on what the policy is for the specific company that they're using to host their footage. If it's Google or Amazon or those guys, it is possible to retrieve it. It's all up to the company and how willing they are to cooperate with law enforcement, because sometimes these things are in the deleted files, but they can still be retrieved. They're in the cache or something like that on those servers. They might be able to be retrieved, but I can't say definitively. Law enforcement would have to act fast to put in a preservation order and to also subpoena these companies for compliance. So it's not a hard no, and it's also not a hard yes. All right. Debbie Gazzardo with celebrating her 10-month membership as a recruit. Midwestern, once again, I can't read the entire name because unfortunately YouTube cuts it off, says no family showed up for the vigil. Very telling. She gave us a $20 super chat. It's very kind of her. Fired Up is now a recruit member. Thank you so much. Tonta37 with a $10 super chat says, you and Aki are professionals. That's why we are here, to hear your professional opinions. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. And lastly, Liz Wilson 9835 is now a recruit member. Thank you so much, guys. Now back to the show. Let's keep going.
I got up off the floor and I didn't see my child. Someone took him from me.
Rebecca has not spoken publicly since, and apparently she's not saying much to detectives either. A spokesperson for the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department says last week detectives confronted Rebecca with inconsistencies to her initial statement.
Look how precious that little boy is. He is precious. Look how precious he is. Amazing.
And she declined to continue with an interview. Now a national children's advocacy and violence prevention group says it's calling off its search for the baby and pulling its reward offer. This after Rebecca's story began changing and after Emmanuel's 2-year-old sister was removed again from the Haro home by CPS. Of course, if you have any information about where the baby is, or if you saw something at Big 5 in Yucaipa last Thursday, police want to hear from you. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Lauren Coronado for Today.
Thank you, Miss Coronado. We appreciate your reporting. Guys, if you are watching this show right now, we have 2,300 people. We're kind of fluctuating between 2,300 and 2,500, which is a record for True Crime or Strategic. Regardless of what the number is, this is record breaking right now. Please do consider hitting that subscribe button. We need those subscriptions. We want to get to 100,000 subscribers. We want to give a voice to the voiceless. That's all we're doing here. All right. We don't sell you guys anything. We don't beg for your finances. All we're doing is giving a voice to the voiceless. So please do consider subscribing to the channel and helping us get to 100,000 viewers, man. 100,000 viewers. All right. Now, this is the thing. A viewer sent this to me. They said, hey, Strategic, I want to bring this to your attention. I'm not sure if this should be put out there for public consumption because one of the responders said that the police asked them not to share this with the public. I'll leave it up to you to kind of figure out what you want to do. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the leads and everything that people are doing to help us get the word out on this case. If police came to me and said, Strategic, we think you have some information that we would like to keep confidential. Can you please not report it to the public? I would not report that to the public. I would not report that to the public. I'm a law enforcement officer and I respect my fellow law enforcement counterparts. And I also want to help out to the best of my abilities with these folks getting their cases together. But when I'm on this platform, I'm also a YouTube commentator and I'm also trying to get to the bottom of these cases. So if somebody else puts it out there, I'm going to report on it. Because if I don't report on it, somebody's going to report on it anyway. There's no secrets on the internet. So that being said, let's read out what's being said here. The person who spoke to law enforcement allegedly was told, keep this to yourself, but they decided to put it out there on the interwebs. It's out there now. The cat is out the bag. So let's read and see what was said. So Maddie said on Facebook, she did not have a baby on the day of the alleged abduction. I was there. Police have interviewed me and many of my coworkers. She says may, but I think she meant many of my coworkers. Then this person who's the creator says, an alleged employee of Big Five, the store Rebecca Haro was allegedly attacked in its parking lot, dropped into the comment section with her experience with the case. Things aren't looking for little. I think I don't know what she was trying to say. Maybe things aren't looking good for little hashtag Emmanuel Haro. I think that's what she was trying to say. All right, let's go to the next one. So this is an alleged employee saying that they were there and that Rebecca did not have a baby with her. Let's keep going. How would they know that? I don't know. Because allegedly Rebecca ran into the store and said, hey, did you guys see my baby? So how would they know whether she had the baby prior to coming into the store? Because Rebecca's story is that the baby was taken while she was outside of the store. But I don't know because, listen, there's a lot of stories we don't know about yet. There are other stories and narratives that were probably told by Rebecca and Jake that we are not privy to because the police are not sharing that. We don't know what was said to police in the interrogation room. We also don't know what was said to some of these employees when they encountered Rebecca because employees did encounter Rebecca because Rebecca went into the store. So let's keep going. So this person up here is kind of cut off, says, wow, you saw Rebecca before they rang the alarm about Emmanuel? Then Maddie responds, yep, we all did. Cops just finished interviewing us all and told us to not share any info to the public. And I told them, no way. She said, oh, hell no. You're not keeping me silent. I got to report this on Facebook. She said, no way. They have the right to know this woman has lied about having a baby with her when she did it. Okay, let's keep going. Spicy Nice says to Maddie, thank you for speaking out. I have been waiting for someone either at the football game or Big Five to say she's a liar. Let's keep going. This one says, Big Five worker here. She had the black eye prior to the alleged incident. Once again, these people aren't giving context rather. We don't know how they know this. Did she go into the Big Five earlier in that week and they remember seeing her? I don't know. But she's saying this Sofinator 79, she's saying this with authority. She's saying Big Five worker here. She had the black eye prior to the alleged incident. A manager did her DV duty. I don't know if she meant domestic violence or something like that. She said a manager did her DV duty of care and asked her if she was okay. And she happily said she walked into a wall and had a laugh. Also No baby with her. I want to know when this interaction happened, because it doesn't seem like this would have been the interaction that she would have had on the day that she reported that her baby was taken. So I want to know what's going on here. These are unverified, guys. I'm just giving you the rumor. I'm giving you what's the chatter that's on these interwebs on Mark Zuckerberg's platform. Okay, let's keep going. The Pink T says, thank you so much for speaking out. Then Maddie says, cops didn't want us to speak out, but we told them everyone had to know there's a baby missing and the mother lied. And then Jessica says, thank you for speaking out. Wow. And this is a picture of Rebecca with her 2 kids. Now, when people said she'd been trying to have a baby for a while, it's not that she didn't have a baby, or babies rather, is that she wanted a son. She's been trying to have a son for a long time. She had apparently 5 kids, but it looks like all of them were girls. Very interesting stuff until she got the 5th kid, which was a boy. Very interesting stuff, ladies and gentlemen. This is a picture now. If you're watching the podcast or listening to the podcast, rather, we're now showing a picture of the parents, Rebecca and Jake Haro, holding up that infamous sign that says missing baby goat. All right. I kid. A kid is a baby goat. I hate that. Like, this is the worst missing flyer I've ever seen in my life. Missing kid. This will go down in the records of probably the most telling piece of evidence that they cared so little about their child that they had this rudimentary missing kid flyer that only had their names and phone numbers on it. Mommy and daddy's name and phone number. No phone number for police department, for the Uvalde organization that was assisting them at the time. No information, but missing kid. No description of the child. No what the child was wearing, how much they weigh, how tall they are, distinctive features like this cross-eye that they keep talking about or lazy eye they keep talking about. Nothing on it. But a photo of Emmanuel. Wasn't even a good photo. It's one from the side. When we have newborns, we take a gajillion photos, especially in this day and age where everybody has a professional camera in their pocket. They have this very basic photo from this side that's not showing the full face of the child. There's one picture on it. There's not multiple pictures. One showing the whole body of the child, one showing the face of the child, and it says missing kid. I believe that the reason why only the phone numbers for the parents was on that flyer is so that they could control the narrative. So that if somebody called up with probative information like where this child's body was or whatever, or they witnessed something, they would have that information and they'd either A, be able to spin it when it goes to police, or B, at least be prepared for knowing that it's going to come out soon. That's my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's see what else we got for you guys. And then if we don't have anything else, we'll call it a day. Let's see what we got. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just checking the emails because we're just getting stuff. We get things all the time, rapid fire. So I want to make sure that we have everything and we're giving you guys everything as we get it. All right. You know, I actually almost forgot what we were going to do. Let's do a call-in show. Let me get the phone number up, guys. We will get that call-in show going. Give me a second. Let me set everything up. I want to hear from you guys. 1,000% want to hear from you amazing people. Give me 1 second. I almost was about to end the show soon, but we're not going to end it now. We're going to do a call-in show. So give me a second. Let me set it up. You guys are amazing. Please make sure you hit that like button if you haven't hit the like button already. And please do consider subscribing to the channel. If you have not yet subscribed to us, there are going to be people who are watching this stream right now, who are engaged, who are typing in the chat, who hit the like button, but they are not subscribed to the channel. We want you to be subscribed to the channel. We want to hear from you. We want you to be a part of our family. We want you to be a part of this growth. We want you to be a part of this movement. Here's the phone number, ladies and gentlemen. I want you guys to call in, please. Got a call-in show. I want to hear from you. I want your opinion on this case or any other questions. Any questions on how these investigations are done? Any questions on what you think law enforcement is going to do next? I want to hear from you. I will answer those questions to the best of my ability with my experience. To the best of my ability. All right. And while we do that, I'm just want to check one more time. But I'm trying to see if I can get this going. All right. The first call. What's going on, caller? Welcome to True Crime Strategic. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hi.
Hey, what's going on?
Delay?
Yeah, I'm here. No. I think somebody else is trying to call. Go ahead.
Okay. This is Jessica, Steady Glamour. I'm calling from Long Beach, California, and I was wondering, why was he wearing a hoodie when it was so hot, and his knuckles look all swollen and bruised?
All right, so I've heard that from other YouTubers, some really big channels. Some of them I'm even a fan of. That's what they're saying. They're saying that it's possible it was bruised. I can't verify that. I don't know.
I wonder
if
why.
his knuckles are bruised.
Because it was hot that
But I'll tell you what. I do believe, and whoever's calling right now, I'm sorry, I have to decline your call, but please call back when we're done with this call here. I do believe he's hiding something. All right, I'm a hoodie guy. I'm a hoodie guy. I love hoodies, but I'm not wearing a hoodie out in New York summertime. This is summertime in New York. I'm not wearing a hoodie out there. My hoodies are in a storage bin in the attic. You guys are in the desert.
IE gets hot.
You guys are in the
I don't
desert.
live in the IE. Yeah, but my dad does, and it gets so hot, so there would be no reason for that hoodie at all.
So I had a person who's down in that area tell me that it's like 110 degrees out there. So
it gets way hot because I'm by the beach in Long Beach, and it's nice here. But once you go over there, it's hot.
Right, and this guy is. I'm not body shaming him or anything like that. I'm just using my detective observation.
Yeah.
He looks like he's a little bit overweight. So that adds to the heat that your body is going to generate.
The meat jacket. He had two jackets, meat jacket and the sweatshirt on.
Right. So I think that it's definitely possible that he might be hiding something. But thank you so much for calling, caller. We're going to move on to the next call. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. All right, those other callers, please do call back in. There we go. Welcome to True Crime Strategic. What's your name and where you calling from, caller?
This is Annie, and I'm calling from Washington State.
What's up, Annie? How's the weather out there in Washington State?
I just wanted to say I watched just about 10 minutes or so ago before I came onto your channel.
Okay.
And there was a news station out of California there, and they were in front of the parents' house, and they said they tried to call the number on the missing kid, as you say, the goat, and the number's been disconnected.
That makes sense. I mean, at this point, everybody is probably called that number 1,000 times. Not me. I don't believe in that. I don't like harassing people. But that makes sense. They're suspects now. Everybody believes them to be suspects. Why would you keep that number open? Just so you could get prank calls?
Well, if I was guilty, I'd keep it open. Just like, I wouldn't care. I'd say, look, unless you know where my baby's at, don't call here. I'd leave, personally, me, I would sign my baby. And it would Katie barred the door.
I agree 1,000%. But I think we all agree that their story isn't lining up, and they most likely are guilty of something. And so, they're running.
Yeah, my discernment told me as soon as I first seen it, my discernment told me they're lying.
Right.
But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I love your show. I just found you a day or so ago. I absolutely love it. And I have subscribed, and I probably will be joining as a member. So
well, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. You have a great day, okay?
You too, honey. Thank you so much.
All right, so we're over to the next caller. What's your name and where you calling from? Welcome to True Crime and Strategic.
Hi, this is Andy. I'm from Redlands.
You from where?
I'm from Redlands, California. It's about 10 minutes away from Yupaica.
Nice, nice. All right, thank you. I like when the locals call, definitely. What you got for me?
Yeah. Well, my sister, we back in 2023 did a GoFundMe for a child's funeral for Rachel Constantino, something like that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the beginning. How is that probative? You kind of broke up when you first said something. I think it took away the context of what you were saying.
So Jack and Rachel had organized a GoFundMe last year.
Rachel or Rebecca?
I'm sorry, Rebecca.
All right, so Jake and Rebecca.
Jack.
Jake.
Yes.
Okay, so Jake and Rebecca, they organized a GoFundMe for what?
For a child's funeral on the behalf of a Rachel Constant. I can't say the last name.
Okay.
Costento.
Okay.
Right. So it just seems they're always somehow connected to somebody's passing.
Oh wow.
And I know the mother Mary, that's Rachel's mother.
Okay.
In 1983, she was investigated for a murder. She used to live in Salinas and then moved to Riverside, California.
Wow.
So what happened was, right. So what happened? She was a.
Well, I just want to say that all this stuff is alleged. I have not verified these things. This is you saying it,
I do
not
have
me.
the paperwork.
Okay. Well,
I do have the paperwork. I dug it out, and a few other people did as well.
But I don't have the paperwork. So you're on my platform, so I'm just doing my disclaimer, but I want to hear what you have to say. But I have not seen that paperwork, so this is alleged, okay? But go ahead.
Oh, alleged. Alleged, right. So that's all we have now, and that which would be Rebecca's cousin. His name is Julian. He was he's the nephew of the grandma Mary, but would be the cousin of Rebecca. And I think he got arrested for a death of something that had happened in Salinas.
Okay, very interesting.
That's all I've got.
All right. I mean, if you want me to report on that, send me that paperwork so I can verify it myself, and then maybe we'll cover it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much for calling.
Okay.
All right, very interesting. What's going on, Cola? Welcome to True Crime and Strategic. What's your name and where you calling from?
It's Bev Miriam.
How you doing? Where you calling from?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I'm calling from Yucaipa. I've sent you a lot of emails.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, thank you.
You didn't have some stuff about there's allegedly they came to I don't know. Okay, so Big Five, they are reported to have come either the day before, one person said, and a week before, asking. They said they got their car hit and they needed to know if there was cameras.
Okay. So that ties in with that rumor that they came there before and kind of like tried to case it. Okay, so that's there's got to be missing context that we had from those messages.
Maybe, but they have to have camera, and that's probably why Big Five talked out, because they came there before. They were casing the place.
Well, they allegedly came before. We haven't confirmed that, right? We haven't confirmed that, but yes, that's interesting though. It's possible.
Yes. And they were saying, and they said, "Why are you asking if we have cameras?" And they said, "Well, because our car got hit outside. We need it for insurance."
Interesting.
That is something that just wouldn't just come about. The employees would know this. It's going to come out probably, but anyway, yeah, exactly. Take other calls. Thanks. Bye.
That was a quick one. She's like, peace out. But thank you so much. She's actually been very helpful and kind to the show and sent me some really good stuff. I encourage everybody to send me whatever you have if you think it's probative. Don't spam me with nonsense, of course. Now, I shouldn't even have to say that because I haven't gotten any nonsense. But please do send me information if you think it's probative. Caller, how you doing? Welcome to True Crime Strategic. What's your name and where you calling from?
Well, my name is 1111 True Crime. How are you?
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for shouting me out on your channel, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, you're doing a great job, and I like your authenticity. I kind of wanted to bring up something because I didn't feel like going live, and I was really enjoying your channel.
Okay.
So I wanted to bring this up. This isn't an alleged. This is just how people feel about this, okay?
Okay.
All right. So you are male or female, don't matter. You're changing your baby.
Mm-hmm.
And you got your back turned and somebody hits you. And when you come to, you ain't got a baby.
Right.
What is the first thing you're going to do?
This is the problem. You can't ask me that question because of the work that I do. When people experience...
You're going to grab your phone and call 911, right?
Probably, but when
because you ain't got a baby.
When people experience trauma, they do all kinds of weird things. So I don't know.
Okay.
But
I
would hope that would be the first thing to do.
Instincts would be to get help, right?
Right, absolutely.
But are you going to go looking, okay, your child is missing and person stole it. Why would you think that they're going to go into the store with the baby now? Because that's what she allegedly did, was she went into the store and started asking people. To me, that's an impossible thing from a mother's standpoint.
I hear you. This is my problem. We got a reverb. Do you have like the show on in the background or something like that?
You know what? Let me just make sure I don't.
Right.
In case I do. No, I don't.
Okay. Maybe it's just maybe it's my end. From my experience, I've been doing investigations for a long time. One thing that I have discovered is that when people experience trauma, now believe me, I believe what this lady's saying is trash. I don't believe her story at all. I think she's going to end up getting arrested or at least turning state's evidence against her husband. But when people experience trauma, they do very weird things. That's why that's not the angle I'm going to go. I don't care about where she went first. What I care about is there evidence corroborating whether somebody hit her or not? So
well, then you could go the route. Of, all right, so she has an injury because somebody struck her.
Right.
She fell on asphalt. Whereas any sign of any of the bruising from this alleged fall where she hit the ground.
Now, guess what? 111 True Crime. Now you're thinking like strategic.
It's 1111, hon. It's 1111.
1111. Sorry. Now you're thinking like strategic eyes. The science. That's what I'm interested in. So yes, you're right. Where did he hit you? Did he hit you in your face or did he hit you in the back of the head? And even wherever he hit you, whether he hit you in your face or the back of your head, if you fall on asphalt, you're going to have some damage on your body. Where's the damage on her body? Furthermore, if you're knocked out on asphalt in a busy park, maybe it wasn't that busy, but people go in and out of this parking lot, why didn't nobody stop and say, why is this lady on the floor? These are the questions I have.
I got one more for you, and then I'm going to jump off here because you're doing a great job.
You got it. What's up?
All right, so this is going to be one for your detective side. All right, so somebody comes up. Keep in mind that's what she used. Someone. And said, Ola, are they male or female? Because you heard them.
Yeah, that's true. Is it a male or is it a female?
So why didn't she say he or she? Why is it somebody?
But I have seen some articles where they report that she said it's a he. Well, we do have some reverb. I want to hear from you more, but I think we got a bad connection.
Okay. Yeah, I think we do. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the support.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Man, that sucks, man. I mean, she's a really nice person. We just had this reverb that was really killing, and then the chat started complaining about it. They're like, yo, there's reverb. So I apologize to 1111 True Crime that we could not finish that conversation or her pick my brain a little bit more. But unfortunately, the reverb was killing me, man. It was like I was paying more attention to hearing my voice repeat than focusing on answering her question. All right, two more calls, because I think I got some more stuff for us to play because my email has been going crazy since I've been on the phone with you guys. If not, you know what? Let me do it. So here's somebody just sent me this on TikTok. It says attorney for the family just pulled up at the house. Let's watch this.
Is that the attorney? Oh, look, someone's pulling in. Oh, that's the attorney, guys.
But how you know it's the attorney? Just because they driving a Tesla? I don't know. People be freestyling sometimes, but all right, listen.
Is that the...
All right, hold on. Let's take this call real quick. What's up, caller? Welcome to True Crime Strategic. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name name is Ruby, and I'm calling from New Mexico.
What's up, Ruby?
Someone's pulling in.
Sorry, Ruby. What's up, Ruby from New Mexico? What you got for me?
Well, I was wondering because I have a tendency like to blow up photographs when I see them, you know, like the baby pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed on the one where he's laying on the grass, if you blow up where his lips are, he's got a bruise in the center on the bottom lip.
Okay.
And looks like either bad chapped lips or maybe possibly a scrape on the upper lip. So then, and if his little hand that does show, the thumb looks completely fat, like it's damaged, and there's a bruise on one of his fingers, and the very last finger, you can barely see it. It's in a very odd position, and it almost looks like the tip of it might have been broken.
Wow.
I was really inspecting that picture, and it just broke my heart. But I thought, you know, if they're shaking this baby or if he's abused as they allege, then there's got to be something on that poor child. And since you're an investigator, I thought you might want to try blowing that up and see what you think.
All right. We'll definitely take a look, man. Appreciate it. But that's
sure,
interesting.
And a fabulous job.
Thank you so much, man. You're so kind. Thank you for supporting the channel. I love all the new people that's coming on. I love the energy. Like, this energy is so direct. Is this like California energy or something? Because the last big case that we did was in Florida, and we got some of that Florida energy, and it was interesting. It was an interesting energy. But we over here covering California, and the energy is beautiful, man. I love it. You guys are from, wow, I don't know. I appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the channel, man.
And then, you know, I just thought of something else real quick about her, I don't want to keep you, but about her injuries.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty doggone hot down there in Cabazon, California, and in that area. My sister lived there for years. And that asphalt gets pretty warm. And if you fall and you're laid out on that asphalt, I bet there's some kind of little bit of burning on the skin, too, from being laying on that hot asphalt. Just saying.
No, I agree with you. That's a good point. Very good point. Thank you for calling.
Oh, you're welcome, and have a great evening.
You too. All right, so caller, you're going to be the last caller because I've got an article I got to read that's allegedly, somebody sent it to me via email, going to explain the willful cruelty charge, which is something I've been interested in since we started this case because I haven't got a narrative on that. So we'll take your call, and then we're going to jump back into the show to read this article. What you got for me, caller? Where you calling from? What's your name?
Thank you for taking my call. I'm Anna. I'm calling from Santa Monica, California.
Okay.
My observation was mostly about what she said, or how she said what she said during the interview, where she was, talking about what happened. She says that someone came up and hit her from behind, and she says, first of all, she says that she fell on the floor. And that's weird to me to call the pavement floor. So in my mind, when she said that, I think that she might be telling the real story. She got hit by maybe her husband or somebody, probably her husband, and she fell on the floor at home.
Right.
There's another thing when she's making up what sounds to me like she's making up that she's changing the diaper of her baby in the car. She uses the word, the baby went to the restroom.
Okay.
And that's just so weird to me. Like, I never heard anyone say that about a baby who pooped or peed their diaper. Like, okay, just say that as adults, I'm going to the restroom, because we don't want to tell people what we're doing. But with a baby, you say exactly what they did. Oh, they pooped. I got to change them. So I don't think that it happened, because if it happened, she would know what the baby did.
Right.
Oh, he pooped. The baby wasn't there, and the baby didn't do anything. So she can't say he pooped. So she uses this weird word for an infant. The baby went to the restroom. So those were my observations on how she's lying. Like, it just sounds like a really straight up lies. Like, she's falling on the floor and the baby went to the restroom. Like, what did the baby do? He pooped. So those were my thoughts. Like, she's she's really not telling the truth there.
Yeah, it's possible.
Don't know what you think.
It's possible.
Yeah.
A lot of people are harping on this whole floor thing. I've had a few Spanish speakers explain to me that that's kind of like how Spanish people talk when they're speaking English because of the way that Spanish translates. But that's just the floor part. I mean, the other stuff that you said, even the floor part could be probative. I don't know. There's no such thing as a bad theory until we find out the truth. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she's telling the truth, and she's saying, I fell on the floor, and she did fall on the floor. But
she's talking about at a different instance.
Or at home and on a different day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you for calling. Appreciate you.
Sure. All right. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, so now we're going to shut that down, and we're going to jump into this article. So unfortunately, the first article that was sent to me, I was unable to access it because they want you to pay for it. But somebody sent me an article in an email. Now, that person is a scholar. They just copy and pasted the article. And this one does seem to go into details as to what he did to that other kid. So we'll read that, and then we'll get out of here. This lawyer thing, I don't know if this is the attorney. I see a Tesla going in there. How do we know that that's the attorney? You know what I mean? But it is what it is. You guys can find this stuff on your own. It's all good. What I want to do is I want to read this article. Okay, so according to an affidavit written by a Ahmed police officer to obtain an arrest warrant, officers investigated a report that a 10-week-year-old girl, 10-week-year-old girl, come on, Strategic. You know I'm tired. I've been streaming for what, 2 hours now? Or an hour and 26 minutes. Officers investigated a report that a 10-week-old girl had been admitted to a Hemet Valley hospital on October 13th, 2018 for treatment of broken bones. Broken bones. Vanessa Haro, also known as Vanessa Avina, according to the document, told officers that she had picked up Jake Haro from work and dropped him off at home on October 12th before driving to Beaumont to pick up her eldest daughter from school. She returned about an hour later and tried to nurse the infant, but she would not drink. Vanessa took the baby to a hospital. Jake Haro told investigators that after Vanessa dropped him off, he took the baby's temperature and found it to be 99 to 100 degrees. He bathed the baby and accidentally dropped it chest first on the divider of the twin basin sink. What? That's terrible. Really? You guys like the double sinks, like that little divider? That's what they're talking about. Like he dropped the baby on the divider. I would have been mortified. I'd have passed out or something if I did that to one of my kids. Let's keep going. He could not detect any injuries. You're supposed to take the child immediately to the emergency room and have an x-ray done when you have those kind of falls. Those kind of drops and spills on newborns, on infants, you have to take them to the hospital immediately. Let's keep going. That night, Vanessa woke up Jake and asked him to feel the baby's back. He felt something crackle. The affidavit said Jake told the investigator that he did not feel the crackle after bathing the infant. Vanessa later declined to answer the investigator's questions without an attorney present. Does that ring a bell, ladies and gentlemen? Does it ring a bell, ladies and gentlemen? Oh boy, let me see if I can get this article over here. Let me get this article up here. Wow. All right, so I got the article. I can bring it over for you guys. Wow, I want you guys to see this. Wow. Let me find my spot. I had to bring this back. Oh. All right, here we go. So the article actually starts up here, but this person sent me the relevant portion. Thank you so much. Whoever sent this, Michelle, Michelle's a very common name, so that's why I said your name. You are amazing. Thank you so much, Michelle, for showing this love. Let's keep going. All right. Does that ring a bell? Does that not ring a bell? Another wife of his refusing to cooperate with police? Rings a bell, right? Let's keep going. Because the same thing Rebecca did. I'm not talking to you unless I have an attorney because my husband said so. Same thing Vanessa did. Shame on Vanessa, by the way. Vanessa later declined to answer the investigators' questions without an attorney present. Doctors at Loma Linda University Medical Center told the officers who wrote the affidavit that the baby had an acute fractured rib, healing fractures of 6 ribs. That means that this abuse happened before in the past because in the process of healing, a skull fracture, a brain hemorrhage, swelling of the neck, and a healing fractured leg bone. This baby was abused since birth, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion. Did you hear this? The combination of the above findings in a pre-mobile infant in the absence of a plausible history of significant trauma to explain the injuries is indicative of abuse, head trauma, physical abuse, nutritional neglect, the officer wrote, quoting a doctor. Not only were they physically abusing this baby, they wasn't even feeding the baby, ladies and gentlemen. This guy's a monster, and Florida gave him probation. Yes, I'm screaming. Yes, I'm mad. If you don't like it, you know what to do with it. You know where to put it. Florida gave this monster probation. Excuse me, California. California gave this monster probation. I got Madeline Soto on my head. That's why I said Florida. She's still in my in my spirit. I'm sorry. No disrespect to Florida. I'm mad at you too, Florida, because you should have gave Stephen Stearns the death penalty. You gave him life in prison. Now he can have all the root beer candy he wants. Let me get that root beer candy. I still have my root beer candy. This is Stephen Stearns, the baby grapist favorite candy, his root beer candy. I still have it. He can have all the root beer candy he wants till the day he died because Florida failed us when it came to giving him the death penalty. Well, guess what? California failed us too. California killed this child. We know this baby's gone. We know this baby gone. Cali, you killed him. We know this baby is gone. And Cali did it. Not the taxpayers of Cali, but those crazy politicians who would give this man probation after we're reading this horror story. I just finished watching Alien Earth. It's a horror story, a horror movie, a horror show. This is true horror. There's nothing you can see on the TV, nothing you can see in the movies that's more horrible than this. This is real life horror. And California took a monster and gave him probation and allowed him to procreate and make more babies for him to hurt. Thank you very much, California. Anyway, let's keep going. I'm pissed, man. I'm pissed. I'm going to read that paragraph again for the people in the back of the room. The combination of the above findings in a pre-mobile infant in the absence of a plausible history of significant trauma to explain the injuries is indicative of head trauma, child physical abuse, and nutritional neglect, the officer wrote, quoting a doctor. It's not the officer's word, it's a doctor that said that. Jake Haro told the officer that when he went home after visiting the hospital, his sister opened the web browser on his iPad and found a search for how to feed a baby with broken ribs. He knew he broke that baby's ribs. And that baby probably wasn't eating because that baby was in so much pain, and he's trying to figure out how to feed the baby, make the baby eat, so that he doesn't have to take the baby to the hospital, so that the hospital doesn't find out that he's been abusing the baby, man. Jeez. Jake told the officer that he did not use the iPad at the time of that search, which was performed before the hospital visit. As the investigation continued, the officer wrote, Jake Haro blamed the injuries on his wife. This man is a monster. But both were charged with willful child cruelty on October 5th, 2021. They pleaded guilty to the charge on June 8th, 2023. The mother and the father were both abusing the child. Jake Haro was sentenced to 180 days in the sheriff's work release program. A man almost killed a child, and we sent him to work release. We said, yo, you could go get a job, and you could be out of prison while you're getting a job. That was his punishment.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Beat, break a child's bones, almost killed a child, brain bleed, broken skull, fractured ribs, broken arms, and we give you work release.
Does that make sense?
Come on. I gotta take a nap after this. This is taking everything out of me, man. This is literally draining me, this live. This live is draining me. This live is taking everything out of me, man. Let's keep going. Jake Haro was sentenced to 180 days in the sheriff's work release program, given a suspended 4-year prison sentence. Suspended, meaning that he served 0 days of that prison sentence, and was ordered to attend a child abuser treatment program. Because that's going to excise the demon from his soul. Going to some freaking program, sitting in a circle, says, hey, my name is Jake and I'm a child abuser. And everybody goes, oh, great job, Jake. Great job, Jake. You're so brave for admitting that you're a child abuser, Jake. Let's keep going. Vanessa Haro was sentenced to 120 days in a work release program in order to attend a child abuser treatment program. Shortly after the baby was admitted to the hospital, Jake Haro filed a request for a domestic violence restraining order against his wife. So he's saying she's abusing him. Family law records showed the case was eventually dismissed because it was bullshit. Jake Haro is due in court on September 2nd to answer to another charge, being a felon or addict in possession of a firearm. That's all we're reporting on that one. That's it. That's the end of the article. Big shout out to the person who sent me that article. Now we know the truth of what happened. Now we know the truth of what happened. California failed Emmanuel. California failed Emmanuel. Those people should have got 20 years in prison for what they did to that baby. 20 years in prison, Vanessa and Jake should have got for what they did to that baby. Unfortunately, they got 180 days and 120 days respectively for work release. There is no justice in this case. No justice. Oh boy. I'm going to leave this one right here. A lot of people are sending me a lot of information. We will cover it on another live. But hearing the truth of what Jake did to his daughter, I thought she was 2 or 3 years old. It turns out the truth is she was 10 weeks old. Finding out what he did to that little girl broke me. It really did. Guys, I really appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Please make sure you hit that like button on your way out the door. Also, consider subscribing to the channel. There's over 2,000 people watching this channel right now. I know that there's a lot of people who's watching it who have not yet subscribed to the channel. We're going to ask now that you subscribe to the channel, please. It's not going to cost you a thing. Also, we do have a membership. Big shout out to all the members. I'm losing my voice because this was just an emotional ride, man. This really was. This was an emotional ride. I don't investigate children under the age of 12. I investigate 13 years old and up all the way to adults until seniors, till you die. And I had the opportunity to switch over to the child side, and I refused to do it because I can't do it. I cannot investigate toddlers being abused in the way that we find people being abused in this world. It's too much for me. Just like talking about that was too much for me. It's tearing me up on the inside to hear what happened to that 10-year-old. It's very sad. Anyway, guys, I got to do my spiel. Consider becoming a member. Big shout out to all the members. Consider becoming a member on our Patreon, where you get a more personal look of Strategic Guys, a more raw and unfiltered form of True Crime with Strategic, because we don't have the YouTube moderators to moderate us on the Patreon. I really appreciate everybody who gave gift memberships. I hope those people who obtained those gift memberships enjoy the membership and continue their membership when that gift membership is over. And lastly, big shout out to everybody who showed love to the channel with a super chat. We do appreciate you. And lastly, welcome to the 18 members who are now joining our family. Other than that, I love you guys immensely. I appreciate you guys. Please keep sending me your tips and we'll keep covering them. Strategic is out of here. Let's get that outro queued up. Peace.